news coming out late over on Friday that Garrett Nussmeier had been downgraded to questionable, so more likely we do see Michael Van Buren in that game. What do you expect of him against this Arkansas defense that has not been good at all this year?
I have no idea what the focus is going to be like for LSU. I do know that Arkansas has played hard since the firing of Sam Pittman. They've been competitive. They've just come up short. I think this is going to be a game for LSU much like Florida had. Remember coming off the Georgia loss, first game of the interim coach being there, then a letdown the next week against Kentucky. I think this is a perfect letdown spot, specifically because they're playing at 11:45. I played in that building at an 11:30 Jefferson Pilot game, and it was like a
names.
I expect it to be like that tomorrow.
The JP.
It's going to be tough to get it going.
Well, I think Arkansas is supremely motivated. I think they want to get this conference win. I look at a guy like Taylor Green, him going against an LSU defense that has struggled to stop mobile quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. They couldn't stop Diego Pavia. They couldn't stop Marcel Reed. They couldn't stop Trinidad Chambliss. Taylor Green is going to make some plays with his legs as well as his arm. And you've got an Arkansas offense that puts up a lot of yards and an LSU defense that has struggled a bit. And then I look at the other side of the ball. I mean, defensively, Arkansas has been totally inept. But what is LSU going to look like offensively? You have a change at quarterback. And let's be honest, when Nussmeier came out of the game last week, he was 18 of 21. He had 121 yards. He took a bad sack, and that was the last play we saw him before they put in Van Buren. And so I understand he may be injured. I'm not at practice. But the whole thing smells fishy. If you want to play Van Buren, that's great. Let's move forward. Let's see what the young kid has. You've got a couple games left. But you wonder what the locker room is going to be like, honestly, because when you have the change and it's kind of ambiguous why things are changing, I'm going to be interested to see, as well as you, how LSU comes out and plays this football game. I have no doubt that they're proud, that they're going to play hard. But when stuff gets difficult, what is it going to look like for LSU down the stretch? Because this has been a disappointing season, and this moment is disappointing.
I'm anxious to see how the LSU defense approaches a guy like Taylor Green. You talked about the struggle with mobile quarterbacks. Do they blitz him? They're the highest blitzing team in the conference. If you blitz Taylor Green, you will get beat. He has almost a 10 yards per carry average, and that includes the sacks versus the blitz. So they're going to have to change up what they do defensively.
And they're going to have to do it again without Whit Weeks, who has been downgraded to out for the LSU Tigers.
Taking on the LSU Tigers. This used to be a preeminent game in the league. This year, it's the first game we talk about.
Yeah, it used to be a big game for a trophy, and all of that is kind of on the back burner right now. And anybody that tells you they know what's going to happen in this ball game tomorrow is completely lying, because you could see an array of outcomes based upon how engaged these two teams are. I honestly believe that we're going to see a situation from LSU like we saw from Florida. You had that first game with an interim coach going up against a big rival. You lose a disappointing game, and then you come back and you have the letdown where you give up 38 points to Kentucky and you get blown out just because you seem completely unengaged. This is a 11:45 local start. I've played in Baton Rouge before. I had the old 11:30 a.m. Jefferson Pilot game back in the day, and it was like a morgue in that place. The LSU wasn't very good then. They're not very good now. I think this is a perfect opportunity for Taylor Green and that Arkansas team to get their first SEC win of the season. Now, obviously, you know, these are two teams that it's tough to gauge where they are, but one thing Bobby Petrino's done a nice job of is keeping Arkansas involved, engaged, and competitive. They've lost some disappointing games, but they've been competitive in them all. I think this is one they go on the road and they get their first SEC win of the season.